away from everything with time don't mean a thing. And time moves slow uncertainly. We got no place to be. Where there's love, there is life, there's a hope and a dream. This is the place for you and me. We can go, we can stay, we can hide, we can run away. We can feel or swim in the ocean. We fall in, love keeps calling. I found love in strange places where all is meant to be. Jamming through the sound of your favorite song. I said, love is all we need. And when you get down, turn it up loud and soon you'll feel at peace. When the world does you wrong, you listen to that song. Like the birds, they listen to the trees. There's a fire on the horizon. And there's a fire, so let it burn. We can get higher over the mountain. We're falling, life keeps calling. We're all just animals, criminals, but we're innocent always. In this jungle, we're all just animals, criminals, but we're innocent always. So many miles I've walked, so many rivers I've crossed, so many battles I've lost, make me who I am today. Now when tomorrow it comes, there'll be a brand new sun. The song's not over, it's just begun. There's a fire on the horizon. There's a fire, so let it burn. We can get higher over the mountain. We're falling, life keeps calling.
Woo! All right. Oh, who is feeling it today? I am. God, that song always gets me in such a good mood. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome to this incredible webinar that I have to share with you. I'm so glad that you were able to make the time out of your day today to spend some time with me and chatting about love. So I just want to do a quick sound check, make sure everyone can hear me. I'm using my headphones this time to really get good, clear sound quality. So just write a yes in the chat box if you can hear me okay. All right. Yes, I can hear it. Okay, good, good. Yes, yes, the yeses are coming in. Beautiful, beautiful. So I am so stoked to have you all here. You are in for a real treat. So I usually like to do these presentations in person so that I can connect with you and see all of your beautiful faces, because let's face it, there's nothing better than personal connection, right? But webinars are a really great way to be able to reach out to women all around the world at the same time. So we're just going to have to do our best to connect and engage through this online platform. And with that said, I'm going to get our chat box going because this is going to be a really great way for us to engage throughout it. And I want to make sure that it's working for you because I've got some really fun giveaways that I'm going to be throwing throughout. So go ahead and check out the chat box and go ahead and just put in your name and where you're calling from. I want to hear where everyone's coming in and calling from. I hear someone saying, I've got a little bit of an echo. Yeah, we're going to have to do the best we can with this. I'm in kind of an echoey room, but I think we can make the most with it. All right, and I want you to know too that this chat box is completely private, so all these messages are just coming into me, and this way we can really connect in together, and any questions that I pose are just coming to me, so I can get a sense of what's resonating, but you don't have to broadcast for everyone on the line. So, okay, we got a little bit of a lag, but coming in now. Welcome, Sabrina, Chicago, Las Vegas, Gail, Allison, New Jersey, wonderful, Sandra, Ontario, Raquel, Mexico, woo, Michelle, Florida, wonderful, oh, awesome, Sherry, okay, wonderful, good, glad this is all working for you, ladies. So, welcome to the webinar, the 3 juicy secrets to make him fall for you effortlessly without giving up your kick-ass lifestyle. So, I want to start by saying that if you feel like you've struggled to connect with men or deeply loving in a way in the past, it's not your fault. There's a lot of information out there, and we don't always have the best role models. And let's face it, no one ever really teaches us this stuff, right? We kind of just have to figure it out on our own. So if society has ever made you feel like dating in the modern world has become impossible, or you can't be both a powerful woman and have that chivalrous, romantic gentleman, it can be really easy to believe that this can be true. If you've been lying awake at night worrying about being alone forever, or concerned that there aren't any more high quality men who get you, or you're feeling like you have to settle for subpar men that just don't interest you, I want to put those fears to rest. These are just fears, and they're not a reality. The truth is, you just have never found the right person to support you in having what you want until you met me. So, welcome. So I really wanted to put together a webinar to support women who feel that they're either pushing men away, or they're just not attracting the right ones, or they can't connect to the man that they're with. So if you're anything like I was, you're probably already super successful in other areas of your life, but there's this nagging void that feels like this big gaping hole when it comes to romantic relationships, right? So my intention for this call is to give you an entirely different way of thinking and looking at relationships so that you can walk away being able to take action and drastically change the way that you've been approaching your love life. And at the end of this call, I'm also going to give a chance to work with me deeper if you find that what I'm sharing speaks with you. So, does that all sound good to you guys? Go ahead and write a guess in the chat box if you're ready to get started on this. All right, yes. We got some new ones coming in too. Cynthia, Boston, welcome. Anne, Ontario, Canada, welcome. Yes. Okay, wonderful. So this webinar is for you. I wanted to cater specifically to 2 different audiences. This webinar is for you if you're currently single and you wish that you could find that incredible partner to share your life with. And it's also for you if you're in a relationship, but it's just not fulfilling you in the way that you need or want. So we're going to have about 60 minutes together. And my promise for this webinar is to give you the tools for you to be able to learn how to attract men with way less effort, how to drastically shift your presence to really trigger his heart for love, and being able to connect straight to his heart to inspire him to want to commit to you forever. I'm also very excited to share that at the very end, I'll be giving away a special attendance gift, kind of like a party favor. Remember that when you were a little kid, getting a party favor? So you get a party favor today, so make sure to stay till the end for that. Okay, so you may be wondering, who is this heal person, right? Maybe you got an email about me or you saw something on Facebook, but who is this teal person? Well, I am the one to help you go from A to B, taking you from where you're at to where you want to be. Whether that's attracting a man into your life who adores you, or helping the man that you're with connect with you more deeper, or just helping you connect and fall in love with yourself. I am that person for you. But I have to let you know right now that I'm not going to be able to help everyone. I can only help women who are ready to help themselves. It's not about me doing the work for you, although I wish I could just wave a magic wand and fix everyone's problems. You have to want to do the work too, and you want to have to change. And I know this is easier said than done. So I'm going to be sharing some key insights that will truly transform your life. But you also have to be willing to meet me halfway and receive it and be willing to invest in your own development. So before we dive in too deep, I want to know, are you the type of person who is ready to try something new, to be someone new? Write a yes in the chat box if you're ready for that. I want to know if you're ready to commit to transforming your love life, not just getting excited about it, but actually starting to make the steps necessary to have what you want. I want to see a big yes in the chat box for this. All right, yes. You like the party favor analogy, huh? Nice, nice. Yes, Gail. Yes, Allison. Yes, Cynthia. Yes. All right, Sherry. Yes. Sweet. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, well, let's continue then. So not only am I going to be your new best friend and coach, I also wanted to share a little bit about who I actually am and why I'm here speaking to all of you. So as you may or may not know, I am a certified relationship coach, specifically trained to help women break through old self-sabotaging dating patterns and embrace their femininity. I've been studying personal development for over 10 years, and I've been a professional people development specialist at Uber for the last 2 years. And specifically last year, I worked with Ariana Huffington, who is such a boss babe. I love that woman. To build training courses for over 30,000 global employees on reducing burnout in the workplace and improving personal well-being. So I have a lot of experience in being able to create space for personal transformation. And through the principles I'll be sharing with you here, I've been able to attract the most incredible man who cherishes me, respects me for who I am as a badass boss babe, and has committed his life to me. And I know for many of you, maybe this may not be your epitome of dream, but for me, my epitome of a dream of like really making it in a successful, loving relationship would be to travel the world with my partner. And we've been able to do just that. 4 months ago, we both quit our jobs and we've been traveling the world together and living out our fullest dreams. But I can assure you, and I want to reassure you, that it wasn't always this way. So I want to share a little bit about my past relationships to let you know that I've gone through my own deep personal struggles to get to where I'm at. And that if I can shift my reality, you can too, I promise. So I remember the first time I really fell deeply in love. It was with my first college boyfriend, and I had never experienced such an incredible love at that point until I did with him. It was such a romantic fairy tale kind of love. We were both a super active couple, and we'd go kayaking and biking and hiking together. We had our shared friends and our go-to foodie spots and our little inside jokes. And sometimes even he'd come over late at night and he'd throw rocks at my window and whisk me away if I was studying too hard. It was literally everything I could have ever wanted, and it felt like a dream. I truly thought that he was the one. I fell so deeply in love, but there was this impending date when we knew that we were going to be separated. We were both going to be studying abroad. He was going to Singapore and I was going to Costa Rica. I mean, it doesn't get more distant in the world than those two places, right? Completely separated. But, you know, in my mind, I always knew that this was just going to be a temporary thing. and that we'd get back together once we came back. So we talked about it. We planned to reconnect when we were both back from our studies, and we did the long distance thing. But throughout that time, something felt really off. So 3 months later, once both of our programs were over, I came back to UCSB, ready to start my senior year, and I got an email from him. An email saying that he was transferring schools and he wasn't coming back. And that was it. That was the end of our relationship. And honestly, my entire life as I knew it. We had made plans together. We were dreaming up about our lives together after college. And the next thing I know, it was all taken away from me. And he never came back. It was the deepest heartbreak I've ever experienced. I literally cried in bed for a week straight. And I couldn't even speak his name for years afterward without getting all choked up. And what was worse, it tore me into a spiral of self-doubt and fear and unworthiness in myself. I kept asking myself, didn't we have something special? Why was I not good enough to make him want to stay or come back to me? Did he meet someone better than me? Oh my God, my mind and my emotions were all over the place. It was a really, really dark time in my life. And I was trying to figure out my own identity and my future, but I felt like it was all shattered. And I was hung up on him for 3 years. For 3 years, I kept thinking that we would one day get back together, that he'd call me and say he's moving back to California to be with me, because no one could ever come close to what we had. And I thought that was special, but that never happened. So during that time, I tried to get back out there, right? Just get back on the horse, keep trying dating again. But I couldn't shake this feeling that I just wasn't good enough and that no other man would be able to live up to him. And it brings up so much feeling just sharing this with you right now. It's really painful to talk about sometimes because even though I'm so happy with my life right now, it was a really impactful experience. And what resulted from this whole experience was that I didn't even realize this, but I subconsciously shut off my heart from then on. I wouldn't embrace any of the emotions that made me feel vulnerable or uncomfortable when it came to talking to men. I would become completely closed off, but I didn't even know that I was doing it. Deep down, I didn't want to open up to show how I truly felt for fear that they would reject me again. And I never wanted to experience that kind of heartbreak ever again. So I kept pushing forward, going through the motions of dating for another 8 years. Because let's face it, we all want to love and be loved, right? That's the most important thing in life. But I didn't realize that I had completely closed off to being able to receive any man. I had become hardened. I had created a wall. And it was keeping me in this holding pattern. But the problem was I didn't even know I was in this pattern. I just felt like I kept hitting this wall and I could never get to the other side, where all the happy couples are. And my pattern looked like this, and maybe some of you can relate. I was very outgoing and charismatic. And so I would be able to attract guys, but guys would be interested to talk to me. But they would, a few months in, when I really started to truly develop feelings for them, I would hide those feelings and pretend that I was totally cool, with everything, even if they weren't treating me how I wanted. And when I was really craving intimacy and a deeper connection. Seriously, girl, if they had an award for resiliency in dating and love, I would get first place. And maybe some of you are feeling the same way too. No matter how many times men left me, or I got dumped, or even cheated on, I would pull myself back up and I would try again. Just keep going at it. I was so determined to find love, but I was approaching it the wrong way. So one day, I remember this like it was yesterday. It was an early Wednesday morning. Seriously, 5 years later after this whole big thing with my first boyfriend. And I had just gotten dumped again the night before by another new guy who I thought I had really fallen for. I had decided to try something new. And so I wrote him a love letter trying to explain how I felt about him. But it completely backfired and he dumped me that night, saying he didn't feel the same way. I was trying to pull myself together again, right? The next morning, and before having to go run a sales meeting, but it was so hard to push down just this extreme disappointment and this painful heartbreak after putting my heart on the line, my biggest fear, and getting dropped just like that again. I was completely stuck. If holding back my feelings didn't work in relationships and putting your heart out there also didn't work, what was I supposed to do, right? I was at an all-time low, and I was just feeling completely hopeless that I would never find the one. Now, I want to pause here and check in with you. Now, I know that this is my personal story, but I want to see how many of you have gone through your own personal painful struggle in attracting relationships or in keeping men in your life. Write a yes in the chat box if something painful like this has happened to you in your past or you resonate with my story. And once again, like I said, this is all private chat between you and I, but I just want to make sure that we're engaging and connecting with you here. You can get a sip of water. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for opening up and sharing a little bit of a different story, but exactly the same thoughts. Yes, yes. I know, I feel your pain and I get you. And don't worry, I'm sharing this because if I was able to fix this, you can too, I promise. So, what did I do? I told myself that I would find a way to fix this. I am a go-getter and I'm gonna figure out a way to get what I want in life one way or the other. So I just told myself I was done dating until I could find a new way to approach relationships. I dove into my own spirituality and personal development to understand why I couldn't get quality men to fall in love with me. I read countless books and took courses to learn how to handle my own emotions and actions and awareness to shift the way that I showed up around men. And the thing that really changed everything for me was when I hired my own relationship coach to support me through those challenges. And I ended up loving the work so much that I became a relationship coach myself. And you know what happened? Something amazing happened. After some amazing time working on myself and with my coach, I was finally able to break my pattern. And as soon as I discovered the tools that I'm about to share with you here, I was able to attract an even more incredible man into my life, one who really sees me for who I am and who respects my ambitions and has given his heart to me. And like I said, we're now traveling the world together and living out our craziest dreams. And I have to pinch myself to think this is my new reality because for so long I was stuck in this alternate universe. And I really attribute all of the incredible happiness that I now share with him to the time that I took to look inward, to practice the tools, and to really learn how to love myself so that I could be open to share and receive that from him. And with all of these incredible experiences that I went through, it has now brought me to this point right now in creating powerful programs to support women like you, just like I did in making their own love stories come true. So I'm ready to show you how you can have the same. Are you ready for that? I want to hear another yes in the chat box if you're ready for that. Woo! Yes! Yes! Carly, yes. Veronica, yes. Sophie, yes. Yes, Gail, yes. Love it. Yes, Cynthia, okay. We can totally, Allison, Sabrina, yes, okay. They keep coming in. I love it. We can totally fix this together, I promise you. So let's get into these juicy secret principles, shall we? So after working in the corporate world for over 10 years, I have seen so many women, and I hate to admit it, I was one of them, who have become so driven to succeed and become equal with men, and sometimes even compete with men, that we're losing touch with the incredible qualities that make us different than men, and that make us female. Now, if you're the type of woman who feels good about most areas of your life, you've got your career, you've got your social life, maybe you even have your own place, but you're still struggling with your dating life, you're not alone. For so many years, I felt like everywhere I looked, there were happy couples, and I longed for that. I want to help you have the kind of incredible intimacy and connection you've always been wanting. I want to help you have those yummy feelings of cuddling in the mornings with a man who just adores you. And I want you to have those special date nights with a man who looks you in the eye every day with so much love. I want you to have a man who will be able to do anything to keep you in his life. If you don't have that right now, I will help you to get there. And that's why I've created this amazing training, and that's why I do the work that I do. So, secret number 1 in how to attract high-quality men is honestly putting the focus back on you. This means making your life complete without him in it, so that you're feeling 100% happy whether or not he's around. And you're not leaning in to plan the dates or initiate phone calls or do any type of controlling of the situation to make things happen, which is easier said than done. No, harder said than done. It's not easy. So if you're the type of woman who either has trouble with having men connect with you or commit, or you're in a relationship with a man who's kind of got one foot in or one foot out, this is going to be for you. For me, even when I first attracted my sweetheart to start dating me, sometimes I would still fall into my old dating patterns and I'd get really closed around him. And for the first year of us dating, even though I knew he was into me, even though we would see each other and we were actively, kind of girlfriend, boyfriend, he would never give me any kind of hint that he was really into me. And it caused me to feel really out of control. He wouldn't say anything about where the relationship was going. And we'd literally go a week without him calling or texting or saying anything to each other. We'd have these amazing dates where we were together, but then he'd pretend like we didn't exist until the next weekend when he felt like seeing me again. It was so tough to not want to just call him up and be like, dude, what's going on? Where's this relationship going? Are you in it or not, right? Putting the focus all on him and not on me and my needs. But this is why this doesn't work. I want you to think about it like filling up a cup. Many times we find ourselves falling into relationships as a way to fill up our own heart with love, to fill some sort of void that maybe we haven't been able to fill ourselves. But what happens when we do this? We end up giving to them, but emptying ourselves. This is what they call a codependent relationship, as I'm sure many of you are aware of. And it's extremely draining and toxic, and it creates that unhealthy energy that causes men to want to pull away. They can literally feel when you're not completely whole yourself. And it feels like this big force, this energetic force that pushes them away. So you need to make sure that you're coming into your relationship fully whole and complete, and he needs to be able to do the same. Then you can both create something even bigger than yourself. So if you recognize that you've been in maybe a codependent relationship in your past, or you haven't been making the time to truly fill yourself up 100%, where you're literally just overflowing with happiness and joy and love, then this is going to be your big action step to start focusing on right away. And I go into this a lot more in my course, which I'll be sharing with you soon. Now, you may be thinking, Patil, if I don't initiate anything, then he won't come. But in continuing to think that, you're only going to continue attracting men that settle for you living in your masculinity. Or maybe you're thinking, nothing in this life is that easy, right? I can't just focus on myself and then I'm just going to have men flocking to me. You have to work hard to get what you want, right? But I'm here to show you that that really isn't the case when you're in relationships. For a healthy relationship to flow between a man and a woman, you as the woman really have to practice doing less. Isn't that a huge relief? Write a big yes in the chat box if you agree with this. Yes. 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 All right, great. So, secret number 2, how to shift your presence to trigger his heart for love. This is about releasing the pattern that you've been stuck in. So to have different results with men, you have to shift how you've been approaching your relationships that's been keeping you where you're at, and then choose to pick differently next time. For many of us, if you're at this stage in your life and you're feeling frustrated or not happy with where your current love life is, It's probably because you've been operating from some sort of old belief, or you have some sort of deep hidden pattern that's keeping you from breaking through to love. As I mentioned, for me, my pattern was a consistent cycle of short-lived romances that ended up fizzling out, just one after another, in my mind for no reason. And I would just be left feeling disappointed and alone and heartbroken because I couldn't figure out what was wrong. What I didn't realize until later was that in being so afraid of being emotional and vulnerable, I was closing off my heart and sabotaging all of my chances for love. When I finally realized that this was my pattern, I was able to break the cycle and create space for taking different actions. So understanding your dating pattern is so important because awareness is the only way to break free of it so that you can actively choose to begin installing new behaviors and getting new results. So write another yes in the chat box if you're following what I'm saying, or if you recognize that maybe you've been in a dating pattern that you need to get out of. Yep, yes, yep, lol, yes, yes. And if not, that's okay too. You know, this is something that I go really deep into discovering with my clients that I work with. It's something I really find really interesting and fascinating, and it can make huge transformations. So if you're not sure about what your dating pattern is, I can totally help you to uncover this. All right, great. And secret number three, in how to inspire him to commit to you forever, you have to tap into your innate feminine energy. So this was the biggest game changer that changed everything for me, the principle of femininity. So we're going to go into this in a lot more detail. So whether you're aware of it or not, humans have two different sides to their being, something called the masculine and the feminine energy. The masculine and feminine energies have deep roots. Everything in nature has an equal and an opposite. It's in our DNA, it's in plants, it's in everything. And in its most simple explanation, the masculine is the outward, giving, penetrative, doing force, and the feminine is the inward, receiving, magnetic, being force. One gives, the other receives. One pursues, and the other attracts. So I like to think about this like magnets. When you look at a magnet, you'll notice that it has both a north and a south pole, right? One end positive, the other negative. One side flowing out, one side flowing in. Masculine and feminine, yin and yang. When you put two north poles together, you repel. You put a north and a south together and boom, instant attraction. So I want you to imagine your heart as a huge magnet, because let's face it, it is. By connecting into your own energy field, we can influence the attraction or repulsion of thoughts, desires, beliefs, and men. So when we stay in our masculine and we allow our minds to dictate instead of our hearts, that's when we get into that hyper analytical mode, and that's when we really are kind of in that North Pole center. When we try to plan out our lives and without consulting what our heart is telling us, and when we start to listen to what society tells us is right or what others think that we should do, we start to create these stories in our mind that can end up holding us back and suppressing our deeper desires. We're not really tapping into that magnetic quality. So choosing to show up and allow your feminine, choosing to show up and allow your feminine energy to lead feels very different. It means being an allowance of each moment. It means letting yourself put a pause on all that endless chatter in your mind, breathing through your heart, and being present in your body and how it's feeling, and making your happiness your first priority. Now, oftentimes women can feel really afraid to relax into the feminine because they're afraid that they'll be perceived as weak or timid or a pushover. But that's not what this is about. This is about learning how to be strong on the outside and being soft on the inside. It's what I like to call surrendering to the universe. I just got a message that I'm going in and out. Are you guys hearing me clearly here? Go ahead and put a yes in the chat box if I'm doing okay. Okay, good. All right, great. Doing good. Perfect. Might have just been a little blip there. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. The last thing I'm going to do is be talking to nobody. Although, yeah. Okay. So, surrendering to the universe. This is about living in your flow and trusting that everything is meant to happen as it's happening and not trying to force a specific outcome. Now, maybe you've thought up until now that the reason that you haven't been able to connect with high-quality men who really understand you and get you is because they're intimidated by you, right? They're intimidated by your independence and your badassness and that strong energy, but that's not the truth. The real reason is that more likely than not, you've been trapped in your masculinity, and no one's ever taught you how to embody your feminine so that men don't just see you, but that they feel you. And more importantly, so that you're able to attract more than just men's minds, you're able to attract their hearts. And that's why it's so important to embody the feminine. It literally changes everything. If you haven't been tapping into this energy in relationships, I really urge you to just try out these principles and just see what happens. It's really powerful. So this secret principle of femininity is an especially challenging one for us as ladies of this generation. We are in a really interesting time for dating and relationships, ladies. This rise of women's empowerment has brought incredible opportunities for women. We're taking a stance for sexual assault, equal pay, equal opportunities. It's a really revolutionary time for us as strong, ambitious, leading women. But what I'm noticing from coaching my clients and just from daily observation is that it's bringing with it a whole new set of really big challenges when it comes to relationships. What happens to our men in relationships when we're told to lean in, as Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook, tells us to do? How do we unintentionally make men feel when we tell the world, we don't need men anymore? No joke, this is so sad, but my sweetheart jokes with me. He's half joking, half serious, but he's like, I'm just waiting for the day when women take over the world and they don't need men anymore and we're just gonna all die off because basically we could do everything. And he's joking, but deep down, I think it is a fear that men are worried about. Like, women are really gaining this power, but we're swinging the pendulum like too far over to the masculine side. So we're in a time right now, girl, where being the incredible powerhouse women that we are energetically and sometimes physically pushing men away. In trying to be equal with men, we're closing our hearts to the beautiful hearts that men have for us. We say that we want a life partner and a soulmate and a companion to share our world with, but what message are you giving when you get into relationships? Can you be strong without being closed off? Can you be vulnerable and let men see your true heart? Or maybe that's not quite where you're at, but maybe are you being too upfront? Are you being too vulnerable with your feelings and you're scaring them away? When you're in a relationship with a man, allowing your presence to shift from a place of masculinity to femininity is kind of like switching from being in the driver's seat to being in the passenger seat. And that can be scary, I know. Instead of being the one in control of planning the route and moving the car forward, you get to relax and enjoy the ride and share where you'd like to be taken, but really just trusting that the driver will get you there safely. And I'm gonna let you in on another big secret. Men want to be the drivers. Deep down, they have this like carnal feeling and desire that they want to take care of their woman. And they want us to relax. So embodying your feminine energy is the most powerful thing that you can do to completely 180 your relationship and empower men and inspire them to become their best self for you. Now, I totally may get it. If some of you are feeling like this is a foreign concept, it can be really hard to all of a sudden just change how you're acting to become more feminine. Because for most of us, we've been operating in our masculinity for so long that it's just kind of how we're hardwired. And it wasn't for me until I hired a relationship coach and I got the support in learning how to apply these principles that everything started to make sense. And funny enough for me, when I started bringing these principles into the workplace, I ended up making shifts there too. Once I started to shift my mind and show up in the world from a place of attraction versus pursuing, I received a huge job promotion, I attracted my life partner, and I felt so much more at peace with my life and controlling my emotions. I was able to have both. So you can see that this principle of femininity is a really big game changer, not only in attracting a high quality man, but in up-leveling your entire life. So I want to pause in here again and check in with you because I've been talking a lot. Write in the chat box yes if you're understanding what I'm talking about here and if this is making sense, or if you have any questions at this point. All right. Yes. Sabrina, Allison, Gail, yes. Yes. All right. Veronica, Sophie, Carly, yes. Great. Great. Good. I'm glad this is making sense. So I want to share with you a personal success story from one of my clients, Brianna. I think it's really great to share success stories because it helps, perhaps you really be able to connect with some of the women that I've worked with to see if you've kind of had a similar situation. So for her, she's a wildlife biologist and she works for the state, and she's frequently asked to go on week-long trips to hunt and monitor buffalo and bears and cougars and mountains. She's definitely not your typical girly girl. And she was having a lot of trouble with her relationships before working with me because she was afraid that men would only see her as this tough woman. She never felt like the typical girly, seductress woman that men would be typically attracted to. But after she was able to embrace this understanding of femininity, she was able to attract her now fiance. And she realized that femininity doesn't have to be about getting your nails done or looking a certain way, but that it comes from the inside. It's about being able to communicate your feelings from a stable place of strength and vulnerability. And from this personal work, the two of them have built an incredible relationship that enables her to still be her badass biologist self, but still connect with her man on a heart-to-heart level from a place of feminine strength. Now, you may be thinking, okay, fine, that's great for you and Brianna, right? But my story is different. I know that we all come from very different backstories when it comes to our own personal dating lives and challenges, but the principles are still the same. So here's what I've noticed about how a lot of women approach relationships. We have this checklist of qualities that we want for our perfect man, and we go out on these dates, vetting them almost as if it's an interview, or we find them doing that to us, right? And it becomes really transactional. Do we match? Yes or no? If no, I've got way more important and interesting things I could do with other of my friends or work that I'd be working on, right? But here's why that doesn't work. Because it still keeps you in your head. It keeps you in your masculinity. By approaching dating and relationships the way you do your job, you're keeping yourself in your head and you're not allowing yourself to show your true heart. You're not allowing him to connect to you on a soul-to-soul level. It's almost as if you're trying to feel love, but you've got this fortress of army of spikes and defenses ready to attack if he's going to make a wrong move. Is this making sense to any of you? Yeah, I think so. And there's no way for him to be able to relax enough when you're in that mode and really get to know you when you come from this place. So when you embody the principles of femininity when you're with your man, you're taking down your walls, you're taking down your defenses and your spikes, and you're allowing him to see your sweet side, your lovable side, the cute, playful, authentic you side, the side you show your family and your friends. So here's a question for you. Have you ever gone into a really relaxing spa session or done a yoga class, and you know that amazing, relaxed, chill vibe that you give off afterwards, and how you just kind of have this aura about you that makes everyone, including men, just become drawn to you? That is the powerful energy I'm talking about, the femininity. But having a massage or doing a yoga session is really just scratching the surface of what it means to really embody the feminine energy and bring that aura into relationships. It's seriously like this sweet honey vibe that attracts men to you without you doing anything. So not only has this worked for me and Brianna, but I want to share another story about my client, Amelia, and the incredible transformation that she's had in her own relationship. So Amelia is an incredibly driven, strong, ambitious type of woman. She's one of those go-getters, and she's not afraid to take risks, push the limits, and really go for her dreams. And as a math and science school teacher in low-income school districts, she has to be commanding, decisive, and hold a really strong presence in the classroom to ensure that her students behave. She was in a relationship for 5 years before coming to me, but it wasn't the healthy type of relationship. Because she'd been operating so strongly from this place of masculinity and having to take care of everyone else, this energy was bleeding into her relationship, and her man was becoming resentful and acting extremely disrespectful and lazy and distrustful. And she realized that she needed to make a change. So she then decided that it was best to break up, even though they were living together and they had a dog together and they were talking about marriage, and move to the other side of the state to start a new life. And now through learning the principles that I teach through my course and through my coaching, she's learned how to both embody the masculinity and the femininity in relationships. And she's been able to find balance in her love life. And just a few months ago, she was dating 3 different men, all who absolutely adored her. And just recently, one of them completely swept her off her feet and showed her that he wants to be with her exclusively. And that's the type of transformation that I want to show and support each of you in having as well. So I want to ask you, how much time do you feel like you are living in your masculinity? Do you find yourself operating in this mode most of the time? Write a yes in the chat box if you agree. And if this is you and you're feeling like, yep, it was, that's okay. Like I said, no one ever teaches us this stuff. All right, yes. Good, thank you for sharing. So attracting the man of your dreams into your life is not luck. It takes intention and awareness of your own self, and it is totally doable. So in the beginning of this training, I said I was going to share an opportunity for you to learn how to take this information deeper. And I'd like to share a little bit about my incredible love attraction program while also giving you a ton more valuable tips. Sound good? All right, we have some more people coming in. Kinda, yes, it was. Okay, good. And thank you for being honest about this too. I'm loving it. And even if you're not necessarily completely 100% in your masculinity, this is really just about being able to have more of a connection with yourself so that you're able to relate and have them see your heart in a more like open way versus trying to protect it or hide or, hold yourself back from your vulnerability. All right, so after working with women for years and going through my own dating struggles, I started noticing something really catastrophic happening in the dating and modern world. Like I mentioned earlier, in trying to be equal with men, we're closing off our hearts to the beautiful hearts that men can provide us. And that's what I knew in my heart, that I really had to step into my calling and support other women to swing this pendulum back the other way. I knew that I had to create a transformational course that would help women to become women again, in a sense, We've been working so hard to become men that we're forgetting how to be women. And the world needs more feminine energy, just as with the masculine, if not more right now. And that's when the Embody the Feminine Master Course was born. This course is a revolutionary 6-week online audio series where you get both the practical roadmap and the mindset magic to set the foundation for attracting a high-quality man or making him connect with you more deeply. A man that connects with you authentically and respects your ambitions and cherishes the ground you walk on. So this course is for all my single ladies who are tired of going through the motions of the current dating scene and they're ready to try out a new approach. It's also for my ladies in relationships who are struggling to find that commitment from their partner. And it's also for my ladies who are just wanting to really learn how to step into their highest feminine presence. So after completing it, you can say goodbye to all that mental chatter filling up your mind with crazy emotions about why this area hasn't been completed yet, the endless online dating that doesn't lead to anything concrete, feeling like you're dating little boys who just don't want to commit, feelings of loneliness, insecurity, unworthiness, lying in bed at night, worrying about being alone forever, trying to downplay your strengths and compromise yourself to make men feel comfortable, and dealing with families and friends that ask you that question, why are you still single? And you can really say hello to feeling confident to attract any high quality man that you want with effortless ease, and drastically shifting your vibe so that men can't help but fall in love with you. And most importantly, you'll be able to radically create a deep sense of love and understanding within yourself. You'll realize that at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter so much about the man, but more about the love that you have for yourself. And when you approach relationships from this point, men literally, they can't help themselves. They'll come out of everywhere from the woodworks and want to be with you. This has happened for me and my clients, and I am so confident in helping you get that too. So I want to share one last client success story from my client, Candace. Candace is an amazing boss babe. After college, she spent 2 years backpacking around the world, living life on her own terms and hiking the Himalayas. And she was so impacted by this life experience that she is now the founder and CEO of Trek Relief, which is a nonprofit that takes people on treks to the Himalayas and uses the money to rebuild small villages. Such an amazing woman. But because she was always moving and traveling, she was never able to really connect with men and form a long-lasting, deep relationship. She was afraid of being vulnerable and building a deep connection with a man. And she didn't understand how to really step into her femininity. So even though she was doing so much incredible work for the world, internally, the foundation was rocky. After going through the Embody the Feminine Master Course and working with me, she met a man that has absolutely fallen in love with her and who she's fallen in love with. They've been together for the last 9 months, and through working with me, she's really learned how to manage her emotions in a way that creates more intimacy between them. And she's also been able to inspire her man to become a better man for her because he admires her so much. So all of this really to be said is, if you're having any doubts, just know that together, whatever your current struggles are, we can fix this. Having your perfect relationship is so doable. Are you really ready to relax into love? Write a big yes in the chat box if you are. I want to hear it. I want to see the enthusiasm. Yes. All right. Carly, yes. Sophie, yes. All right. Yes, yes. Okay. Woo! I love this enthusiasm, ladies. Seriously. So good. Gail, yes, with apostrophes. Okay. Perfect. Sabrina, yes. All right. So I want to go into a few more of the details of what this program is all about so that you can decide if this is the best fit for you. And if it's not a problem. I really hope that this webinar has been valuable and that you've gotten some good gold nuggets from it. So the Embody the Feminine Master Course. This is a custom course, like I said, a 6-week online audio series. And in lesson 1, I help you get really clear on what you want. So we're going to create the vision of your ideal relationship, your ideal man, and more importantly, your ideal future self, of who you get to become. You'll also learn powerful manifestation techniques to start harnessing this energy and planting the seeds to bring it into your reality. Lesson 2 is all about becoming a modern goddess. So you'll learn the powerful tools to help you really uncover this secret side to your being and harness that goddess essence and make men, and let's face it, everyone, melt in your presence and become magnetized to your energy. Lesson 3 is all about releasing the patterns keeping you stuck. So in this one, we go really deep, and I do a really powerful meditation that helps you really sink into your subconscious and take an honest look at your relationship patterns and gain tools to release those limiting thoughts and beliefs. You'll also go in and clear out any of that mental clutter or emotional baggage that you have or have had so that you don't bring that into your next relationship. And you will shatter those subconscious beliefs that may have been holding you back from having that envisioned dream relationship that you're deeply desiring. Lesson 4 is all about embodying unshakable self-love. So in this lesson, you'll learn the secret I can't talk tonight. The secret qualities that high-value women of today all share. You're going to harness your energy vibe to be both powerful, but also have humble respect, and connect with yourself on a much deeper level to really build out your self-love and your self-care that will have you glowing from the inside out. So you're literally shining this beam of light coming from the center of your heart. In lesson 5, I'm going to help you create magnetic feminine confidence. So there's actually a difference between masculine confidence and feminine confidence. And in this, you'll learn tools to really deepen your connection with your emotions and use them as a power instead of a weakness. You'll shift any feelings of low confidence or self-esteem or self-worth and be able to emanate this magnetic, enrapturing energy that men just can't resist. And in lesson 6, the final lesson, you'll create intimacy and long-lasting connection. So this is where I really give you the tools to have those kinds of conversations with men that shift how they actually receive you. And you'll be able to embrace your vulnerability from a place of open-hearted strength that brings him closer. You'll also be able to still be your independent, accomplished, smart, powerful self without closing off to that soft, gushy, sweet, heart-centered space. And communicate your needs in a way that speaks right to his heart, so that you can really experience love flowing abundantly and with ease. That's why I like to call my whole company Relax into Love. And then I decided to throw in a few extra fun bonus modules. So I'm excited to share with you, with this course also includes 2 special bonus modules on how to manage your emotions and also how to create magnetism instantly. I'll also be including unlimited email support with me for 6 weeks as you go through the course, and give you access to our private Facebook group so that I can support you in real time as you're going through this program and having those ahas. So, all right, you're probably like, oh, this is so cool. How does this all work? I want to get started with this. So as soon as you say yes and you sign up, you'll be taken directly to our private members area where you can access all of the online modules immediately. It's set up to be done over the course of 6 weeks, but you can take it at your own pace, whatever feels good to you. And each lesson is accompanied with worksheets, templates, fun quizzes, and meditations to really help you incorporate all of the teachings on a deeper level. And you're going to be given lifetime access to this, so you can access and refer back to the lessons at any time. And really the most important thing here with this is that it's going to save you valuable time. These lessons and all the materials have been a culmination of over 10 years of my own experiences and studies and coaching practices, and I've distilled them into the perfect program for you. This means that you don't have to spend years and years like I did suffering and questioning about what you're doing wrong. You can literally get all the refined teachings that took me 10 years in one place. And very, very excited to offer this. For a limited time, I'm opening up 10 spaces for women to come and work with me one-on-one while going through the course, to get that individual coaching and support while going through the program. And I'm offering this for half the price of my normal coaching. These spots are already signing up, so I only have a few left, so this is going to be something that's first come, first served. But I really do want to hold space for as many of you as I can to be able to have that one-on-one support. So I want to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to attracting and embodying more love? If 1 is being, I'll get to it next year or sometime, and 10 being, yes, I need to do something, like I can't go on any longer being like this. Where do you think that you fall? Write it in the chat box. Oh, great. And we have a question coming in. Gail, awesome. While you guys are putting in your numbers, Gail, let me hold on to the question for the end. Is that okay? I'm almost wrapping up here. Okay, great. All right. All right, getting some numbers coming in. 8, okay. 7, all right. 10, yes. 9, all right. Yes, yes. All right, yes. 8, 9, okay. You guys are serious about this. Love it, love it. So, right now you're probably drooling with excitement about wondering how much something like this all costs, right? Well, I want to put this price into context. Usually when we think about investing in our own career and when we think about investing in our own development, we think about our career education. But when do we really ever get the chance to invest in our personal relationship development? Not very often, right? We easily spend over $30,000 a year at universities to invest in our career development. And this money of $30,000 is well worth investing on yourself if you can get a degree that supports you in your future career. So why would our investment in our own personal relationship development be any different? Now, I'm not going to be charging $30,000 for this program, although one day it probably will be. We'll see. I'm going to break it down for you of everything that I'm offering with this full offering. So right now, this full offering, you're going to get the Embody the Feminine Master Course, unlimited email coaching support from me for 6 weeks, 10 supplemental resources, 2 bonus modules, access to our private Facebook group. This is over a $3,000 value. Now I'm doing a special promotion this week only, as you've been seeing the emails coming through, where I'm going to be slashing that $3,000 value and that's $3,000 price to a price of only $297 for the entire offering. This is honestly something I do not plan to be keeping at this low of a price, but it's something that as I'm doing this big launch right now and really getting this out, I want to have as many women go through it as possible. And you're not going to find this kind of teaching anywhere else. This has been something that has been a culmination, like I said, of my own personal development experiences. So if you're serious about shifting this area of your life and saying goodbye to loneliness and hello to being truly loved, right now, I'm going to be putting out a button for you to go right to the main page. It's going to say, let's get started. And on that page, you'll see a full breakdown of everything that we talked here. And you can click on the button and it will take you right to the place where you can put in your payment information. And from right there, you'll be taken directly to where you can access your training lessons. So get ready. On the count of 3, I'm going to put up the offer. Alrighty, you should be seeing it coming up in the little button next to the chat window. Go ahead and click the button that says, let's get started and let's get this whole thing going, shall we? What are you waiting for, my girlfriends? I am so ready to support you in creating your perfect love story. And now it's time for you to take the leap. Take the leap for yourself. And by investing in yourself, you are showing me and your future man, and really the universe, that you're really ready to have what you want. So click the link right there that says, let's get started and let's get going on creating that epic love story. Now, as you're going through this, I want to give some extra fun bonus prizes and really help you get out of your way of any of the mental stuff that may be holding you back from investing in yourself right now. So I'm giving out a Decisive Action Takers bonus. So if you sign up in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be giving away a free copy of my new ebook called Sassy, Classy, and in Love, The Boss Babe's Guide to Create Long-Lasting Love with Modern Day Prince Charming. So that is something that you'll get as an extra bonus gift by signing up right now. I also want to share with you that as part of my own personal mission to bring more love to the world, that's not just in relationships. It actually comes with taking care of Mother Earth and helping spread more love to Mother Earth. And so for everyone that signs up, I'm going to be donating 10% of all the profits of this course to the 4Ocean nonprofit group that helps to clean the ocean and save the sea turtles. So not only are you going to be investing in your own future development and your own love life, you're also going to be helping to save the sea turtles as well. And for any of you skeptics out there that are still hesitating to invest in yourself, I want you to know that I am so confident in this course working for you that it is coming with a full 30-day Relax into Love guarantee. So if after 30 days you still don't feel like this is a good fit for you, after you fully follow my tools, I'll give you your money back, 100%. So there's really nothing to lose here. So click on the link, the Let's Get Started link. It'll take you over to the page, and let's get this thing going, right? I am so excited to work with you. And I want you to know this is the last day that I'm doing this series of webinars and this launch. So I've been giving this offer for this week only, and that time expires tonight at midnight. So really, you guys are getting in on the last chance for this offering to come through. So I want to ask you, how much longer do you want to wait to have that kind of love that you really do deserve? So I'm going to go ahead and leave this page up here, and I'm also going to have the chat box open so that people can be writing in any questions that they have. So I'm going to open it up now for Q&A, and I'm also going to be on the line here too. So in case anyone has any challenges or struggles with the technology of signing up, feel free to message me there too. So I will be opening it up for chats now. Let's see what we got coming through. So the first one is from Gail. Approximately how much or how long does each module take? And how much time would I invest in each module? Great question, Gail. So each module, the audio section is about 30 minutes. And like I said, you can spread it out over the course of 6 weeks or do it all in 1 week. It's really up to you. But I really feel like giving yourself an hour a week. So 30 minutes with the module and then 30 minutes for the reflections and the meditations and that sort of stuff. Great question. All right. Wonderful. I'm so glad you got so much value out of this, Anne. Wonderful. I can't wait to work with you. Wonderful. All right. Gail's giving me some great stuff here. I'm going to read it for a second by myself and then see if it has value for everybody. Wonderful. Thank you, Gail. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Enjoy and good luck with everything. We have another question coming in. Can you help older people who are in their 50s? This is a great question. I've been told that I'm strong, but in the inside, I don't feel like I am. I've been told I'm confident, but I don't feel it on the inside. I've been told that I have it in my mind because I'm taller and that no one would love me. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. I'm not going to share your name. I'm going to keep this anonymous, but I know that I have the work to do, but it will help me. Yes, absolutely. So to answer your question, I am happy to work with older women. Absolutely. And I can really feel here that if you're feeling like inside you're not, but outside people are saying that you are, there's definitely some sort of energetic disbalance. And so I think this course will really be able to help you to connect deeper with yourself and understand, where is that discord coming from? And I would be happy to connect with you more one-on-one as well afterwards, after this call. So if you want to stay on the line, or you're welcome to email me, I'll put my email right here. Yeah, you're welcome to email me, and we can take this further offline as well. But I would definitely say I think this course is going to be fantastic for you, and really go deep within yourself and connect with where is that coming from. All right. I don't do well with self-study. I'd rather just do a couple one-on-ones, I think. All right. Well, that is fine. Like I said, go ahead and email me afterwards, and we can talk about that and how we can really best customize this for you. Like I said, this course is meant to just be kind of a real, the starter, right? But I am here open to be doing the one-on-one sessions with you as well, and really help to take it even deeper than doing it just by on yourself. So if that feels like you, then definitely schedule time with me one-on-one. All right. Let's see, we've got a few more questions coming in. I love you. You seem so amazing. What do I want to do if I work with you on one-on-one? Okay, so yeah, so what I suggest for anyone that works with me, wants to work with me one-on-one, go ahead and sign up for the course. This will give you really the foundation to start from, right? This is going to be kind of like your go-to for the next 6 weeks. And then right after that, you'll be prompted for signing up for my last final one-on-one sessions. And during that time, then we can really schedule them out and help make sure that I'm holding you accountable as you go. So that's what I suggest for anyone that's wanting to do one-on-one sessions. Okay, thank you, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful questions. Is anyone having challenges with the sign up button, the sign up process? I was just double checking it earlier, but please message me if you're having any challenges with any of the signups, the sign up link on the page. I'm going to stay on here for just a few more minutes in case anyone else has any questions. If you don't, thank you so much for your time tonight. I am so honored to be able to speak with you, and I really, really can't wait to be working with each of you. So email me if you have any last other questions, but you're welcome to go ahead and head off at this point. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Alrighty, and for those of you who are still on here, is there anything that I can support you with? If you want to go ahead and write the chat box. I see we still have about 10 women still on. Wonderful. Thank you, Allison. Thank you. Yes, let's definitely work on this together. Reach out to me for sure. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. All right. Anybody else that's still on here? How can I support you? Any other questions? All right. I'm just hanging out here. I've got a few more people. So I'm just going to hang out here in case you have any other questions or any need any support with the sign up process. All right. Talk later, Allison. Talk soon. Bye-bye. All right. Thank you, Sabrina. Wonderful. We'll talk soon. Thanks for showing up today. All right. Looks like we still have about 4 ladies on. Ladies, how can I support you? Go ahead and write in the chat box. All right, Gail, not a problem. Yes, definitely feel free to think about it. Yes, you can definitely sign up in a few hours. You have until midnight tonight. Yep, I had to make a big cutoff date to cutoff time to really get this, get the excitement going, and yeah. So you have until midnight tonight. And like I said, feel free if you're having any other questions or things are coming up for you, just go ahead and email me, and we can talk through it together offline. But thank you so much for joining, Gail. All right, and we still have a few ladies on, so I'm assuming that you guys are just sorting out the payment page. So I'm just going to hang out here in case you need any support. And put back on our music so we can have some music going on here. All right, looks like we still have 4 ladies on the line. I'm getting the signups coming through, which is awesome. Thank you for taking advantage of this offer right now and getting all the extra bonuses. For those of you who are still on the line, I want to check in and see if there's anything I can do to support you. Or if you're just hanging out and you left this on in the background, this is probably the time for you to sign off now. So otherwise, I'm going to be closing this probably at the end of this song. So.
This world is not right for me. The clock keeps spinning so slow. I guess we'll have to wait and see. In this love, in this love, in this love, in this love. Looking up now, looking up as the sun goes down. Looking up, looking up now. Looking up now, looking up as the sun goes down. Looking up now. In this love, in this love, in this love, in this love.
Alrighty, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the webinar. Thank you all for joining, and we'll talk soon.